Well, Greg, I'd love to start with you. A few different, I think it's 3 or 4 different digital symposia ago for us, we polled
Right.
our audience of about 100 global chief information officers and asked them how many of them had the aspiration to eventually become CEOs, either of their own companies or a company. And more than 50% answered yes. And you are one of the rare but growing group of people who have been able to ascend to the top chair of a company after spending time, significant time in your case, as an IT executive and as a chief information officer. And I wonder if you could just reflect for a moment on your ascent and what about the role of chief information officer was key as one of the positions on your ascent to the chief executive officer post.
Yeah, great question. And listen, I've given it have many years to think about it for sure. And I go back to my earlier decision to graduate in computer science because one, I didn't know what I wanted to do in life, but I knew technology was going to be extremely important, regardless of what I did, and be beneficial to me. And that path and that education, I think, was the foundation for the opportunities that were presented to me. So being the CIO, there's never a better opportunity to ascend from the CIO job into a line of business or a CEO job than today because we live in a digital world. You see that every decision we make as executives, there's a foundation and fundamental aspect of technology in the discussion, and it's everywhere. It's pervasive. It separates even more in banking. We distribute all of our products through our digital channels. All right, our distribution, our touch happen through our digital channels. How we go to market goes through our digital channels. So having a technology background is a huge asset for a business leader, more so today than ever before. But it's a logical opportunity to step up from a digital technology position into a CEO or other line of business position. So that's important. The other thing about being a CIO, which you'll learn, is you got to make a lot of decisions every day, and you've got to get a lot of things done. We live in a very, very fast-paced, challenging environment. Cybersecurity, obviously, as we're just talking about, is a huge risk and challenge. So every day you're faced with multiple decisions. You got to assess those, evaluate those decisions and questions, make the right decision, and move on. That helps you as you think about what a CEO does. So the pace at which you can get to the right answer, so to speak, the way you multitask, the way you're focused on completing tasks, because if you don't get 10 done yesterday, you're going to have 10 more to do the next day. So it's just really a whole rhythm of how we operate as CIOs in the volume of work that comes at us. You have to disposition that work, make decisions, act on those decisions, and execute. All that, I think, is a great foundation for elevating from a CIO to a CEO. And having a good DNA that does that, I think, is very advantageous.
So it sounds like, Greg, you think that although it's a relatively exclusive club now, it's going to become one that's less exclusive, that others, because of the reasons you described, should have that pathway, should it be something that they potentially pursue for the reasons you described and the sanctity and growing strategic importance of technology and digital on all businesses. Is that a fair assessment?
I think it's a fair assessment. I think, once again, I think all businesses are faced with how they digitize their business, how they take advantage of technology to be more productive. And I think having a technology background is a great opportunity to step up if you have the other skill sets.